Hello, LuSundra Everett here, and today we're going to be talking about self-sabotage. Specifically, what is it? What is self-sabotage? If you've heard someone say to you or to someone else that you are your own worst enemy, then self-sabotage is probably what they're talking about. So what is it? Well, we understand the word self, right? But let's look at the word sabotage. Sabotage is borrowed from the French from, I want to say it's about 1910 with the railway strike, when people intentionally destroyed these wooden things that are called sabots. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But anyway, so since then we have borrowed that word to mean to intentionally destroy something. Okay, so when we're talking about self-sabotage, we are intentionally destroying something within ourselves. So the way that self-sabotage works, the way it shows up, is that we subconsciously perform behaviors that are not in our best interest, that go against any goals that we're trying to achieve. So when we're talking about self-sabotage, you have a goal. You are sure of this goal. You know exactly how you're going to do it. You have all the intentions. You have all the plans. But then when you get to a certain point, you just don't. What is happening? Well, that's when your subconscious takes over, because it knows that you are addicted to failure. You are addicted to disappointment. So what happens is, when you get to a certain point, your subconscious kicks in and says, okay, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. And so then you actually listen to your subconscious, and then you don't. You do things like allow distractions. You intentionally procrastinate. And you do everything else except what you need to do in order to achieve your goal. And you do this because you're addicted to the failure. You're addicted to the disappointments. This is what your body is used to. This is what your mind is used to. So when your mind is used to something, it says, okay, we love it. Now, understand that the mind does not know the difference between good and bad. It just knows what is. So understanding that you are subconsciously performing behaviors that are against your best interest, now we got something to work with, right? Because we know exactly what we're dealing with. So when we're talking about self-sabotage, now that we have that awareness, the awareness of the self-sabotage, we can begin to make conscious choices. Because what's happened in your mind is this. Imagine you're on a dirt road. Okay, imagine you're on a dirt road and you see a road that has been traveled over and over and over again. What happens? Eventually, a rut starts to form, okay, to where the rut can be so deep you can just set your wheels in and you don't even have to think about it anymore. You don't even have to pay attention, and you're going to go in the direction of the rut in the road. That's what happens in your mind when you carve a neural pathway. When your mind is used to going in the same direction all the time, well, guess what? It eventually goes to sleep. It's no longer aware. You're no longer conscious of what's going on. It's just all happening subconsciously deep in there, and you're mentally asleep. But now that you know, you can wake up and interrupt that pattern and make different choices. Your job is just to be aware. Be aware of what's going on when you start to perform behaviors that go against the goals that you're trying to achieve. That's how you interrupt the self-sabotage. We'll talk more about that in another video. But for this video, I want you to understand completely what self-sabotage is. Self-sabotage is that subconscious action that you perform that is totally against your best interest. And so if you find that you are performing these destructive behaviors, if you have a goal that you're working on and you can't seem to get there, you seem to get just so far and then it just never works out, well, let's look at the behaviors. You have to ask yourself, what is happening that I'm not moving forward? See, when you start to wake up and ask yourself that, when you ask yourself a question, you're gonna get an answer, okay? So now we understand what self-sabotage is, and I'm so excited that you stuck around to find out. Listen, head on over to my website, www.abetteryouprint.com. We have free membership over there and some great resources, and I invite you and encourage you to go get a free membership and see what goodies we got over there. There's more stuff being added every day, and we'd love to have you, okay? So I'll see you in the next video. Bye.